How you doing?
I've had better days.
What's your name? Where you from?
Michelle Sharp. From a little town in Maryland. Friendship, Maryland.
Okay. Let's start from the beginning. What was it like growing up in Maryland?
Well, I grew up in the 70s and 80s in southern Maryland, in the country. So it was tobacco fields and power lines and nothing else.
Yeah.
Literally nothing else. So a lot of self-entertainment. We had a good life. We had a great life. My mom was a power woman in the 80s. She fucking rocked it. I mean, rocked it at a time when women weren't making the kind of money she made. She traveled across the country working for Volkswagen of America while my dad raised us three girls. She rocked it. So I had a great childhood. But I was always looking for attention.
Okay.
Probably because my mama wasn't around and my daddy was a little preoccupied with three girls and a job and a house and a mortgage. So by 15, I was pregnant. By 16, I had a baby who 4 months later, God decided needed to be an angel to SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome.
Wow.
Destroyed my family. My daughter died on 11/19 and was buried on my father's birthday on 11/21, 1988.
Wow.
I stayed high on Love Boat once I went back to high school in order to function, because I had girls putting black roses in my locker and saying things like, "You killed your baby to get Jason's attention," and dumb shit. Very cruel. That movie Mean Girls is so accurate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tina Fey.
And what did you say you were high off?
Love Boat. It was a combination of marijuana and PCP.
Okay.
This was back in 1988, 89.
Okay.
It was very popular. Until one day I went to biology class high, and the biology teacher kind of yanked my ass out into the corridor and said, "You know what? You're no longer a child. You're no longer a high school student. You are now officially an adult. You have had a child. You have lost a child." He says, "And what these girls are doing to you is pure torture. Go get your GED. You're done here." Sent me to the counselor's office. Told the counselor what the biology teacher said, and she says, "Actually, I agree." She goes, "I wholeheartedly agree." She says, "In 90 days, you can have your GED. I'll send you the practice test. You know, we can do this. We just have to have your mother's consent because you are only 17. She goes, "But you can sign yourself out." So she called my mother. My mother said, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" I said, "Yep, think I'm done. I've had enough." So I did. I quit at 16, 17. I don't know how old it was. 3 months later, I took my GED and I passed. At that point in my life, I pretended that I didn't. I pretended to want to live. I sure as shit didn't want to live and didn't care if I died. And got involved with someone who every time he drank, he beat shit out of me. And I let it. And then I got pregnant and had an abortion on my 18th birthday. I stayed with that person because for the most part, he was a good person. But when he drank, he was not. And we brought the worst out in each other. But I stayed with him, probably because I thought I deserved no better than to have my ass beat. In fact, I know that's what I felt. Then I got pregnant again at 19, and I made the decision that I was having that baby. So at 19, him being 20, my mother decided to intervene one night, and in the midst of my son's father arguing with me in the driveway, my mother came out and gave him an ultimatum and said, she's keeping the baby, whether you like it or not. She says, and you have two choices. You either walk away now and stay away forever, or you stay and you understand that's also forever. This is not an 18-year commitment. It's for life. He decided to stay, and he never hit me again. And he turned out to be one of the best damn dads. He was an asshole. We weren't together. By the time my son Andrew was 2, his father and I split up and never got back together. But we raised our son together without going to court, without a judge telling us when he could see him, how much he had to pay me. None of that shit. None of that shit. The one thing I did right in my life is my son, and the way I raised him and the way I interacted with his father about him. We did holidays together, birthdays together, Christmas together. Shit, we would even go Christmas shopping. We'd go have a beer and go Christmas shopping together. The one thing I did right is my son, Andrew Christopher Harris. That's one thing I got right. Had a lot of jobs. I get bored very easily. But more importantly, I'm better than to be shit on. And once I get to a point where I've been shit on enough, I'll walk the fuck away. So on my 30th birthday, I quit my best job as a customer service rep for a fine printer. Anaconda Press out of Forestville, Maryland. And I worked on some good shit. I helped Georgetown Law come up with their Jesuit presidential invitation package. I got to work with National Gallery of Art and be a part of the Van Gogh exhibition that came to DC. I got to dine at the, oh goodness gracious, the embassy for next to Germany. Starts with an A. Christ have mercy, Michelle, you're not that old. Whatever that country is. Austria. I got to do some really cool shit. But I had an estimator who treated me like shit. And the one thing my dad taught me was, you might be a lady, but you will never let a man walk all over you, even though I kept doing it. And this man truly treated me like shit. And I worked my ass off to get to where I was in that company. And on my 30th birthday, literally on my 30th birthday, he treated me like I was some fucking flunky 15-year-old who didn't know a fucking thing. I walked into my boss's office, I dropped my cell phone, dropped my keys, and I said, I quit. And he says, why? I said, can you get Chris Conley to change the way he treats me? He says, no. I said, then I quit. I said, I am not putting up with this shit any longer. And I left. For a week straight, that boss called me and asked me if I was coming back. I said, answer one question. Can you change the way Chris Conley treats me? He said, no. I said, then no, I'm not coming back. I have a level. It's a bullshit level. Every human has one.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty fucking high.
Yeah. So how did you, what was the situation that ended with you being homeless?
Divorce. After I got married in 2007 and we separated in 2020. So what's that? 13 years yet together since 2005.
Yeah.
Divorce. And that human was so kind that after 13 years as a housewife, he cut off all financial support.
Wow.
He made sure that he had the car that I was sitting in, a rental car, because my car was wrecked over in Chattanooga at some collision company. I was here at Nashville. So this piece of shit that I married Joseph Michael Wilson. I'm sitting at the Phillips 66 on December 1st of 2020 in a Jeep Grand Cherokee through a Hertz rental company because my car is in the shop. My husband, because I told him I wanted a divorce and had said that for 8 years, decided to not pay Hertz. So they turned the car off. And here I'm thinking, I killed the battery because I'm sitting in it waiting for the gas station to open. So I called for a tow truck because I got AAA, I got everything I need. Police show up and they say, Mrs. Wilson, you have to vacate the car with everything you can carry because Hertz shut it down due to your husband's lack of payment.
Wow.
That officer told me that my husband hadn't made a payment in almost 3 weeks. So I got out of the car with what I could grab. Officer said, where can I take you? I said, you can take me to the Clarion. I said, I have friends there. I said, I do have a point system through one of these hotels. I should be able to get a room somewhere. So over to the Clarion I went. I made a phone call. The only hotel that my points would cover was out in Murfreesboro. Roadway Inn or some dumb shit. So the officer took me over there. I got my room and spent the next 7 weeks on the street because my husband, the man that I married, preferred that I die than divorce him. And he flat out told me that in front of my daughter-in-law and my grandson. Said, I'll put a bullet in your head before I'll divorce you. And he damn near did.
What did you say he said?
I'll put a bullet in your head before I'll divorce you. My first 2 wives took me for everything I got. I'll be damned if my 3rd wife does the same. I'll kill you before I divorce you, is what he said to me on speakerphone in front of my daughter-in-law and my 2-year-old grandson. Real nice human being.
Wow.
And I slept with that enemy. So, from December 1st to January 19th, I was on the streets of Nashville during COVID, during Nashville Strong. And I survived. Through ice storm, fucking nasty, nasty weather. Oh my God. Oh my God. I adopted the name Shelby because I survived the ice storm in Shelby Park.
Wow.
My family has always called me Shelly. My first name is Michelle. They've always called me Shelly, and I hate it. My driver's license says Michelle.
It's a raccoon.
You know, you go to work and they copy your documents and this is what they know you as.
Yeah.
Your family calls you a completely different name, and a lot of families are that way. You get to a point where you get tired of explaining that, yes, your name is Michelle, but everybody calls you Shelly. So I quit it, and I just quit it. My name's Michelle. It's what's on my fucking birth certificate. It's what I prefer to be called.
Anything happened to you personally during that time?
Yeah, a lot. I got hit in the face with a 2x4 and in the sternum down in West Nashville at a homeless camp that somebody took me to.
Wow.
Yeah, that was brutal. And then got frostbite that night, trying to sleep on a church porch in the freezing rain.
Wow.
Yeah, it was brutal. And then I died.
Wow.
Because I overdosed. Wasn't going to talk about it, but shit happens.
What did you overdose off?
Well, I thought I was doing a line of cocaine. It wasn't until I did the line that I realized it wasn't cocaine. And as I'm literally melting, I said, fuck. That I thought it was heroin, but I'm pretty sure it was fentanyl. To be honest, I don't fucking know. Wow. I never had my blood tested. I was saved by a paramedic over there where I died by the the Indian Memorial.
Yeah.
Literally between the fort and the feather, over the half wall is where I laid under and on cardboard.
Wow.
And Phoenix I don't know if he Narcan. I know it was that paddle shit, because that's what I woke up to, was
Yeah.
a paddle on my chest, being, this tingling, shocking, hello, hey, we're back. Tune in. I didn't know who it was until this year. I've been back to Nashville a couple times since then.
Yeah.
In 2022, I came back when my divorce was final.
Yeah.
I came back and didn't meet Phoenix then. But this trip, I've been here since April 4th. We're going on 4 months. So anyways, this trip over here in the river camp, I was having a conversation with another human, and Phoenix was standing there, and he said, when I said used to go by the street named Gypsy, he said, I'm the one that saved you.
Wow.
How do you thank someone like that for that?
Right.
There's no gift big enough. Even though I wanted to die, I seriously wanted to die that night. I know that. I wanted to die. I was done. It was the 20th of December or some dumb shit. Yeah. So 20 days on the street in the freezing fucking cold. Occasionally I could get my husband to pay for a hotel room. My ID was stolen, so then I couldn't get a hotel room anymore. So then I had to find another human with an ID. I had my mom reserve me a room over at what used to be the Quality Inn, that's now the Comfort Inn, with a guitar pool. And it just, people look down on this.
Why did you want to die that night?
I've been ostracized from my family, my entire family. My daughter-in-law hates me for a reason unknown to me. I dropped my basket, and my most vicious weapon is my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not kind when I'm in pain, and I'm not kind when you push me to my limit. I'm not kind when you keep me away from my child, and I'm sure as shit not kind when you keep me away from my family or anyone else. Family has always been big to me.
Yeah.
And I have a daughter-in-law to make sure that I don't get to see my son or my grandson. And my mother advocates this at times. And then I had this husband who literally tried to kill me for 8 fucking years instead of divorce me. Literally tried to kill me. How I survived, I'll never know, but I did. And
how did he try to kill you?
Poisoned me. Drugged me. He drugged me with, what's that shit? Trazodone. He drugged me with mineral spirits or paint thinner. That he put in my drink when we were sitting at the Clarion, drinking after the Ed Sheeran concert. That one I know for a fact was him. He poisoned me with moldy, mildewy food while I was battling cancer. Wow. Literally dying from cancer, and the motherfuckers feeding me moldy. I couldn't even barely walk to the bathroom, let alone cook for myself.
Is there a reason you didn't leave within those 8 years of him trying to kill you?
I did leave. I kept leaving.
Why'd you go back?
I keep making excuses for why I went back. I literally started leaving this man in 2015, and we did not separate until 2020 and divorced until 2022. The reason I kept going back, my dad died being married to my mother for 48 years.
Wow.
One thing I did not believe in is divorce.
Yeah.
There's always a way to fix it. It's a vow for life.
Yeah.
I would go back. He would play nice for a month, maybe 2, sometimes 6, sometimes 9 months, and then the tide would change again. And I'd leave again. Always in the spring. I'd leave the same time of year, every year. I'd be gone for 3 or 4 months. And I'd go back. And this went on for years. 3 years, 4 years. And then I got sick. I got really sick. I got so sick I couldn't walk to the bathroom 5 fucking feet from my bedroom. Couldn't even fucking walk to the bathroom. And this asshole had to carry me. He had to bathe me. He had to take me to DC to get the marijuana so that I could kill this shit.
Well, being out here,
And the reason I stayed the last 3 years is because I was fucking dying.
yeah,
I was fucking dying. And I knew it. I moved to Pennsylvania to get the proper pharmaceutical, medical marijuana for the cancer I had.
yeah.
And I have again.
Being out here, have you had an addiction while you're on the streets?
Sure, we all have an addiction. Everybody has a vice.
Yeah.
But am I addicted to meth? Nope. But I do smoke it occasionally. I don't like to snort it. What it does to your body is completely different. It's cold medicine. Honest to God, it's fucking cold medicine.
How did you get introduced to it?
Well, let me see. I was 24 years old when I was introduced to crystal meth. I'm 53 now.
Okay.
Okay. So back then it was just called crystal, and it was like a goldish color, and we snorted it like you would cocaine. But it always made my body hurt really, really bad afterwards. And so I didn't like it. I tried it with some friends, didn't do it again, kind of thing. And then I was reintroduced to it, let me think, Pennsylvania. It might have been here. No, it was definitely, well, no, it wasn't here in Nashville, because the only thing I smoked when I was here in 2020, in 2020, no, it was here. Nope, I got it wrong. Okay, so in 2020, the only thing I smoked was marijuana. In 2022, when I was here, I did smoke meth, but I was reintroduced to meth when I moved to Berlin, Pennsylvania. The population up there is very repressed and oppressed, and the only thing they do is drink and do drugs. That's it. They go to work every day, come home, do the drugs, drink, get up, go to work every day. And one of my best girlfriends was like, want to do a line? And I'm thinking coke. I'm like, yeah, I'll get my house clean. I do a line of meth, and I'm awake for 3 fucking days, and my house is clean. I've rearranged everything. Everything's fucking organized. I understand why it's a housewife's drug, and why women, it became a predominantly woman drug.
Okay.
Long time ago.
You're welcome.
Long time ago. That was the housewife drug, and I understand now why. But yeah, so I was reintroduced in 2018 when I moved to Pennsylvania. And we would snort it, but like I said, it hurt me so much that I stopped doing that. And when I left Pennsylvania in 2021, I moved in with my mom. First my son, then my mom. I didn't touch anything other than marijuana, which has always been my go-to. When I came back in 2022, I smoked meth and I hallucinated, I think. But anyways, I ended up in the hospital. I ran from something I thought was chasing me and spent the night burrowed in a hillside in Kentucky in 25-degree weather.
Wow.
Yep. Woke up the next morning, climbed up the hill, and there's a trailer, knocked on the lady's door and said, can you call 911? I think I'm going to die. And she handed me a big bag of clothes, some big ass booty socks. Because what happened was I was trying clothes on and the guy weirded me out. I mean, weirded me out. I got that feeling like he's going to fucking rape you or kill you or something. And I had these hooker heels on, these boots with big, fat heels. And I'm trying to run in these bitches. And of course, I don't know for a fact, but I'm thinking somebody's chasing me. There's dogs going off all over the place. Could be just because I'm running through the fucking woods, but I don't know for certain. So anyways, I take these boots off, run through the river so my scent is, eradicated, and climb up the hill and find a hole, burrow down in it, cover myself with leaves, and pass the fuck out.
Wow.
So I've been through some shit, but this time when I came back, the only reason I would smoke the meth, I did it in Chattanooga. It started in Chattanooga.
So when was the last time you used meth?
No, the other day. The other day. And that's why I'm in cranky bitch mode, because I let the person I was doing it with convince me that we should just snort it. And I know better. I know better. What it does to my body is just awful. Truly awful. Imagine your worst pain, okay? Yeah. Your worst pain. You feel like every muscle is going like this and ripping out of your skin. You feel like your bones are stretching and moving, and everything hurts. Even your eyelashes hurt.
Wow.
That's what it does to me when I come off of it, or come down, whatever the terminology is.
So for you, it's a good feeling while you're on it, but when you're coming down, it hurts your body?
Yeah. So whether it's smoked or snorted or what these other idiots do, stick it in their arm. First and foremost, it's an appetite suppressant. It's a pain reliever. It is a cerebral boost in ways that the doctors do know. They choose not to acknowledge. People can become hyper-focused. So it would be great for anyone with ADHD who can't focus. And but the downside of it is you're not eating, you're not drinking, and you're awake for fucking 2-3 days.
Do you think it should be legal, meth?
I think we should do as Portugal did and make all drugs legal. Okay. And the same way Mexico. Let the human self-medicate. Why? Because we generally trust our gut and get it right. Those that want to do the self-harm, they're going to do the self-harm no matter what, whether it's legal or not. Yeah. That's the difference. Give people the option. This is what life is about. You have the right to make the decision on how you live your life. Your body, your rules. Nobody else's. Not the president's, not that idiot that runs the World Health Organization. Nobody has the right to tell you how to live your life or what to put in your body.
Yeah.
Nobody, not even your mama.
So how are you supporting your habit out here?
I don't have a habit and I don't support it. I don't pay for it.
So how do you support yourself out here?
Well, I don't.
Okay.
I did. I went back to school when I came off fentanyl, Percocet, and morphine for the elevator accident that I was in 2008. I went back to school to become an herbalist and an aromatherapist. And, distracted by the carriage. The one thing my teacher was adamant about is you must pick one herb to specialize in. Take a guess which herb I chose.
Marijuana.
Cannabis. You got it. So I learned everything I could about cannabis. And I read medical journals from California. I read articles on the internet. I read and read and read and read. And I did the research. I did the research by using the marijuana. At first, you know, I started smoking marijuana when I was 24. I had a sister who was way smarter than I. And I came home from work pissed off. And she said, sit down. And I said, no. She says, no, you're going to sit down and smoke this joint with me because mom has the kids and you aren't fucking up my Friday night. So I smoked the joint with her, and I think I rolled around on our living room floor laughing and giggling for a good 2 hours. Never looked back. Marijuana has its uses. Truly, it's...
So is that how you support yourself?
No. So what I did when I first got here, how I supported myself is my street name is Dr. Shelby Sharp. I'm a pot doctor. I can tell you what you need, which strain probably works best for you, whether you need an edible, whether you need just smoke, whether you need CBD, THC. So that's what I started doing. That's what I've always done is, you know, I started by teaching heroin addicts to use medical marijuana to go through withdrawal, because that's what I did to get off fentanyl and Percocet. I used marijuana to get through the withdrawal phase. And then I graduated. When I first got here, there was a huge problem within this homeless community along the river. They all have funky feet. And I mean funky trench foot funky feet. Like these kids are going to die from trench foot. And none of them even know what the fuck trench foot is. I'm like, do you not know what our soldiers endured? Or any soldier? They're fucking idiots. So I would show them, clean their feet, put the medicine on, give them dry socks. Take care of the dumb ones that are so addicted to fentanyl that they prostitute their asses, and they're 19 and 20 years old. So I would make sure they had food, they had clothes. They could come to me for anything. Because if it was my kid, I sure as shit would want someone else to do it. So I became Mama Michelle. And we went from doctoring to mothering to a point where I hate humans.
Yeah.
I'd much rather sit with a dog all day long or talk to the wall than another human.
You said you hate humans?
I do. I used to be a people-loving bitch, but I hate humans. I truly do. They are the worst animal on the planet. The worst animal on the planet. And the woman human is far worse than a fucking man. They're predators. They're vicious.
What's one of the worst things you saw being out here in Nashville?
One of the worst things I've seen.
Yes.
You know, it just happened at the soup kitchen. That was one of the worst things I've seen. There's one human tearing down another just because he was called out on his bullshit.
Wow.
I haven't seen, other than the lady getting hit by a car, I haven't seen the tragic shit that people keep talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I came up on Wego after some guy shot himself in the Wego, but I didn't see it. I haven't seen any tragedies, other than the walking tragedies.
So for anyone that see this that may be, you know, trying drugs for the first time or thinking about trying drugs, any message for them?
Never do it alone. Never do it alone, first and foremost. Never do it alone, ever. And make sure you tell someone, this is my first time.
Okay.
But don't do heroin, don't do fentanyl. They'll fucking kill you. End of discussion. They'll kill you, flat out.
But I appreciate it. I wish you the best.
Thank you, T.Y.
And thank you.
You're welcome.